This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement.
What's happening in Minneapolis? Here's a badge, a gun, and a license to do whatever the f*** you want. Like, a lot of people don't talk about what's happening behind the scenes. You're being fed a binary choice.
Yes.
Yes. We're all heading towards the same
100%.
It's the illusion of choice.
Oftentimes, the real truth is somewhere in the gray.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So I'm not sure I want to talk about this, but we have to talk about it. It's just everywhere in the news, right? What's happening in Minneapolis?
Yeah.
It's insane.
What's still happening?
Still. I mean, yeah, to this, what are we at? What's the date today?
Today is January 27th.
January 27th. So this has been going on for a few weeks now, a couple weeks. 2 people have been shot and killed in the last week alone. I mean, people have gotten shot in the eye and permanently blinded with pepper canisters.
Sure.
They shot that one priest in the head.
That lady got her hand blown up by a
That was her fault.
flashbang.
They shot a priest in the head?
Yeah, there was a guy in an elevated position. He had a canister. I don't know if it was gas or if it was pepper spray, but he aimed it down and shot a priest right in the head.
Holy shit. I don't remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
It's out there. You can find it right now.
It's pandemonium over
Yeah.
there. It's crazy.
So I kind of wanted to go back to when Trump got elected and kind of start from there and try to retrace things and make some sense out of it.
Okay.
And kind of see maybe how people are viewing this, why they're viewing it, like all that stuff. We'll get into it. So this might be a longer episode than usual. It's not going to be 40 minutes.
We'll do our best.
We'll do our best.
Yeah, buckle up.
So, I mean, Donald Trump, when he got elected, he ran on a campaign, I would say, largely based on immigration, right? Deep state.
I feel like that was a huge part of
Eliminating the deep state and securing our borders and getting deporting the illegal immigrants, right?
That was a huge part. Build the wall. Mexico's going to pay for it.
So
whatever.
He certainly has a mandate to do what he's doing. As far like the overwhelming majority of people want illegal criminal aliens deported from this country. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
And I would say, if you want to further put us into a niche, it's like let's just start with the violent criminals and we'll go from there. I feel like that was the sticking point that even the left could have argued, like, all right, well, maybe we get rid of the violent ones.
And that's what they said. We're going after the worst of the worst.
Right.
And
that was the campaign.
And who can argue that?
And for all accounts, I mean, that was being done. Like, that was being put into motion initially. They were making great steps, great strides to try and make that happen.
I think that's what they were saying, but
Yes.
like I've seen numbers that just don't play out. Like,
Right. But I'm saying the image they were portraying initially when they got in is they hit the ground full steam. Hey, we're going to take care of this right now.
And I don't think anybody truly has a problem when they say they're going after the murderers, the rapists. Probably get censored for saying that, but it's a crime. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can say that, right?
Yeah.
No.
We're saying it's not good.
Everyone,
it's a crime.
Everyone now has to say grape.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot. You got to say grape.
Yeah.
Or
the algorithm doesn't pick up on the G.
I know. It's algorithm's too dumb, apparently. Or, SA for blank assault.
Yeah.
So they're going after the SA offenders. As if I have to say it now after
Hispanics?
Yeah.
Essays?
Essay. Let's get the essays.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, those are the LA.
Oh.
brand. But that's what they said. They're going after the worst of the worst. We're getting them. And who can say no to that, right? So he truly has a mandate to do all those things. I don't know how much Donald Trump day to day knows what the hell is going on with any of this.
Yeah.
He knows that the people elected me to do this. Hey, Stephen Miller, Tom Homan, make it happen.
Yeah.
And they do it. He doesn't watch it. Like, this is a known fact. He doesn't watch or listen to anything besides Fox News. And what does Fox News do? Just stroke him. Like, they're playing to an audience of one at this point.
Right.
What do you want to hear, boss? But
tell me how great I am.
So he gets into office and he enacts something called National Security Presidential Memorandum Number 7, NSPM 7 for short. And this is basically the engine behind everything that ICE has the capability to do now. It goes around, this is like the anti-domestic terrorism thing. Like, a lot of people don't talk about what's happening behind the scenes. They just see we're deporting illegal immigrants, or we're trying to deport illegal immigrants, but we're slowly developing a large database on domestic terrorists.
Yeah.
And the NSPM 7 is what gives it the teeth. You want to know what they call a domestic terrorist?
Please.
I'm going to pull.
A terrorist.
Adam, if you could, just pull my laptop. I'll just read it from here if I can. All right, so I'm going to pull this right from the White House's webpage, the whitehouse.gov here. So there's common recurrent motivations and indicia uniting a pattern of violent and terroristic activities.
Indicia, for those of you who don't know, are signs, indications, or distinguishing marks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So indicia uniting this pattern of violent terroristic activities under the umbrella of self-described anti-fascism. These movements portray foundational American principles, i.e. support for law enforcement, border control, as fascist. So they're saying that if you support law enforcement and border control, you're a fascist. Okay, I see what they're saying. To justify encouraging acts of violent revolution, this anti-fascist lie has become the organizing rally cry used by domestic terrorists to wage a violent assault against democratic institutions, constitutional rights, and fundamental American liberties. Common threads animating this violent conduct include anti-Americanism. That's pretty darn vague.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think burning a flag would be part of that, right?
You have a constitutional right to do that. It does not make you a domestic terrorist to do it.
But it would fall into being anti-American.
Crazy that your constitutional right will make you a domestic terrorist
right.
now. Be very particular when you read these words. What actually makes you a terrorist?
I thought as a kid, like, I remember learning it was illegal to burn the flag.
Not
It's not.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
It's poor taste.
You know whose flag you can't burn, oddly enough.
The country that shall not be named.
We will not talk
Okay.
about it, but
Can't do that.
that's a hate crime.
Okay.
Anyway, but yes, you're totally allowed to burn the American flag. That's your right. Freedom of speech, freedom of protest, all
I do
that
believe
stuff.
you got the right to get your ass kicked if you do something like that.
Sure. But oddly enough, you'll go to jail for kicking their ass.
Well, yeah.
So
That should
anyway,
be my right, though.
neither here nor there.
Okay,
I
sorry.
don't condone burning the flag. I mean, I think you're a jackass if you do that. Anyway, so, but if you do burn the flag, or if, again, let's go back to their definition, anti-Americanism. That is broad.
Super broad.
Anti-capitalism.
Ah.
If you're anti-capitalism, you are now a domestic terrorist.
What?
If you are anti-Christianity, you are now a domestic terrorist. This is on their website. Support for the overthrow of the United States government. Yeah, I'd say that would make you a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
Your support that tracks.
So, okay. No, we won't get into that just yet.
Extremism on migration. It's a view. Like that doesn't
Right.
matter.
What's extreme and what's not?
Yeah, and it's just a personal view. It
Right.
doesn't make you a terrorist. Race, extremism on migration, race, and gender. And my computer just what is going on?
But
with our electronics?
does the word extremism, though, does that carry weight in whatever their definition or their eyes is as being like not just a voice for or against, but actually carrying out certain acts or things that they would term hate crimes? Like, is that what they consider extremism? Or is extremism 100% left to whatever governing body is making the decision on
That's
whether
the
it is
thing.
or not?
So this is their legal document here. This is NSPM 7.
Yeah.
Like
So
you're reading the exact definition I have right here. This can be used in a court of law.
So I'm reading a little bit more kind of like nuanced analysis of NSPM 7, and I guess it's not necessarily the law, but what it is it's more of a directive for federal law enforcement agencies in terms of where you guys should direct your anti-terrorism task forces.
Correct.
So if it's not
Under
like,
the authority of the president.
correct. So it's not necessarily if you get out in the street and say I hate capitalism, you're not a terrorist, but you might end up on a watch list.
Under the presidential guidance, you are.
Yes.
And like I said, language matters very much. Maybe
Yeah.
not to you and me, maybe not to someone online who says, well, that's not what they mean. But when you get inside a courtroom and they're charging you with something,
Right.
Yeah.
words matter very
Well,
much.
Adam and I say it all the time. Words have meaning.
All
there's
the time.
There's a certain reason certain words are used or omitted specifically because they have meaning.
When they're vague, it's for a
when the
purpose.
government says X about you,
Yeah.
that carries a lot of
Yeah,
weight.
right.
Whatever X is, like, oh my God, watch out.
Especially domestic terrorists.
The government labeled you this. That's
Yeah.
scary. So anyway, I can stop reading that part. But that's their new definition of domestic terrorism. NSPM 7 gives them the mandate to go after domestic terrorists. So ICE has gone into this. They've gotten a massive budget increase. I can't remember how much it is. I think
It was a lot.
it's a lot. I'm trying to remember. I thought I wrote it down, but it
I
doesn't.
remember
look like
seeing
it did.
numbers too, and I can't think of what it is.
I'm pulling it up. 2026.
But their budget is now, if you compare it to world militaries, their budget, I think, is the third largest in the world, excluding, I think it's like US, Japan, Israel, I think, and then
ICE.
It's a $10 billion funding for ICE based on the House of Representatives.
Additional funding, correct? Not just.
I thought it was
bill.
12 or 13. I didn't want to misspeak though.
It's $960 million higher than fiscal year 2025.
Okay, so about $1 billion more.
9 to 10%
Damn.
increase year over year.
So they've started recruiting. They now have more money than anybody knows what to do. They have more money than the FBI.
Did they take laterals?
Yeah, they do.
Have you guys seen the South Park commercial for recruiting? I can't play it here.
No.
Oh my God. It's like, come on down to ICE. You can have a job. We got 1 day of training. We'll give you a gun. We'll send you on out.
You might even get to do Secret Service duty.
You're not far off.
pretty bad.
That's not far off.
Kristi Noem comes in and shoots a dog at the end of it.
Oh my God.
It's awesome.
So ICE right now is spending $25 million on recruitment campaigns.
Damn.
$25 million.
Is there a signing bonus?
There's a signing bonus.
Yes.
So far they're lowering the bar. They want more people than they can get. They're lowering the bar just like anybody does when they need people.
Did they go to online testing?
Dude.
Oh.
Damn.
That might just be the fire department.
Damn.
So let's see here. To meet the mass deportation quotas, the agency's rushing recruits through a 6-week program that's cut in half, more than half, because it's traditionally a 13-week program.
6 weeks?
6 weeks.
For the guys that are in Minnesota, that's 6 weeks.
Here's a badge, a gun, and a license to do whatever the fuck you want.
Go get them. Dude, it's
6
like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
It might
probably
explain
had
a
more
lot.
training,
And when you
dude.
listen, it does explain a lot. And especially when you listen to people like J.D. Vance, Stephen Miller, Donald Trump, who have said you have absolute immunity.
6 weeks. That's a month and a half.
Can you imagine?
That's a
Absolute
month and a
immunity. Here's your badge and your gun. Go nuts, boys.
And you're trying to hire as many people as you can. Like, and I'm sure obviously there's a vetting process, but we all know how, I mean.
Do you want to know what their vetting process has
hold on.
become?
But even that, I'll say this, right? Like, look at our profession and our
let's say
vetting.
you got the best of the best.
Our
Yeah.
vetting process, and you still have people fall through the cracks. You're like, how the fuck did that guy get hired with that history?
Yeah, this
right?
is like a year-long process.
Shit still falls through the cracks. So what's ICE's
Absolutely.
vetting process?
Well, they've now lowered their standards. They've hired. This is people who've done background checks and stuff like this because these records are supposed to be open. Like federal employees have their open records, right?
Yeah.
So they've hired people with records including domestic violence. Maybe that might explain why you see some of these guys just throttling women to the ground. Maybe, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
47 days is the average training for new recruits for the position of what we're seeing in Minnesota.
Exactly.
A full immunity on whatever you do.
47 days of training. That's
guys
crazy.
who have records of strong armed robbery.
As
Wow.
opposed to weak armed?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think strong arm is with weapons
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Or they just like,
or brandishing
and
weapons.
and people who have failed drug tests or basic written exams. So they're even taking people who are failing the written.
That's like the same vetting process as like what, Senate?
Dude.
No?
I think
I need my air horn back.
I still think the Senate is lower.
Sounds about that's the federal vetting process. That sounds about right.
Great. We're training future senators.
Sweet. So Adam, you asked, is there a signing bonus? They have been luring people with an up to $50,000 signing bonus.
Damn.
Boys, what are you doing next weekend?
I'm joining ICE.
What's the time commitment to the program? Is it like hazmat? Like you got to be committed for 2 years before you
2 years to the
job?
truck, 3 years to the program.
Damn. All right.
So that's crazy. And even still, ICE ranks 418th out of 432 federal agencies for job satisfaction.
Dude, that's like the top.
That's the bottom, right?
That's the bottom.
Yeah.
They're 418 out of 432.
Yeah.
What is that, like the fifth percentile? Good for them.
In their recruiting things, they've used these things like, I didn't know what this meant. I had to look it up. They're using in their advertising a poster that says, "Which way, American man?" So I had to look up, like, why is this "Which way, American man"? What does that mean?
Yeah.
The phrase, it's a modern adaptation of a title of a notorious white nationalist book.
Oh.
And then they also use another slogan, "America for Americans." The phrase was revitalized in the 1920s by the Ku Klux Klan.
I've heard
expansion of
that.
hate. During this era, the KKK used the slogan to broaden their platform beyond anti-black racism to include anti-immigrant, anti-Catholic, and anti-Semitic.
You're saying ICE currently is using America for Americans.
I'll put it in the B-roll.
It was also used by that same phrase was used. Oh my.
Yes.
What's crazy is I was looking up like and
What?
you guys may know this, so I was out of the loop obviously because I was gone, and you guys have covered Antifa heavily, but I was just looking up prior to the show, like Antifa origins. When were they founded? When did they start? What does Antifa stand for? Right, all that, just to kind of get a broader idea. And like they were saying that obviously these types of protests and things that they're against started back in like in the 1920s against the Ku Klux Klan and all of those types of things.
Can confirm
The term was founded obviously in 2007, but obviously the anti-fascist movements was started with that specifically. So it's ironic that now you have Antifa
ironic.
versus ICE.
Well, according to the
It's the
internet,
same fucking
Antifa,
thing all over again.
It's
That's
not a
crazy.
group. It's a movement.
Right, a movement. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, we'll get into that part.
It says it right here.
I know,
Antifa's
I know,
not a group.
I know. But I'm just saying, I was just looking that up, and I was like,
That's odd.
to hear you say that and touch on where that is now,
That's
like
so weird.
how crazy that's gone full circle. Yeah.
That's so weird.
All right. So we have Trump's given them this mandate with the NSPM 7. I want you to do this. He has specifically told them, along with Stephen Miller and JD Vance, you have full immunity. They're going through this 6-week program. There's people probably out of a job or a crap job. They're getting $50,000. Now you have a federal job with benefits. You go through 6 weeks of training.
Federal crap job.
Yeah, you have yeah. Now here's your gun. Here's your badge. Do your worst, boys.
Send it.
I'm not saying that there aren't good, well-intentioned people out
Absolutely.
there, because there certainly are. But like like Steve said, you're gonna get some bad apples that fall through the cracks
Every time. Every job.
And then you get that with their massive budget increase, their massive hiring increase, and then you get companies like Palantir who are in there with their $30 million contracts.
Yeah. How does Palantir tie into all this? You mentioned that earlier.
Palantir, that's a whole other rabbit hole we could get into as far as that company goes, but they've developed a software called Elite that ICE is using now. It stands for Enhanced Leads Identification and Targeting for Enforcement.
Oh boy.
Sounds great, right?
Federal government and their acronyms.
It uses a geospatial map to draw circles around neighborhoods and apartment complexes to instantly identify targets. It's got a confidence score. The app assigns a confidence score, like 90 out of 100, to a human address based on data mined from the Department of Health, USCIS, and private data brokers like Thomson Reuters. That's part of the $30 million contract, and it's like the central nervous system for everything ICE is doing. Have you seen that one video that's gone viral lately where a lady she's probably 20 yards back from ICE and she's filming them. Mm-hmm. And they're like, hey, you can't do that. You can't be filming us. And she's like, I can film you. I can film whatever you want. It's legal. And then he pulls out the phone. He's like, yeah, it is. And he goes and takes a picture of her license plate. She's like, why are you taking a picture of my license plate? I can film here. And he says, yeah, that's what I'm doing too. And she's like, why? She's like, oh, because we have this nice little database and now you're a domestic terrorist. This is what he tells her. A masked ICE agent takes a picture of her license plate. And this lady, she's not interfering. She's legitimately just videotaping.
Well, yeah, which is totally legal. We have people film us all the time.
Although ICE agents are specifically telling protesters, you can't film us, which is total BS.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
You want to film.
And I also don't like that we're all wearing masks now. Like it just
that's
the
a whole other
imagery.
creepy thing.
It's the imagery of it. Like what are we trying to accomplish here?
And I get like, oh, they're being doxxed. Like, well,
I get that.
You know what? Police officers and federal agents all over this country by the tens of thousands.
On it.
Exactly. Tens of thousands of police officers out there have their badge and their name on their uniform everywhere.
Yeah.
And
it's accountability.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's accountability.
Well, yeah. In addition to accountability, you are less likely, one, to be viewed as, or two, conduct yourself as some sort of thug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If there's the repercussion of somebody knowing your face is on film, your name is on film, and they might see you out in public.
Can you imagine what you might do if the president said you have complete immunity and now you have complete anonymity?
But just think about even this from the COVID standpoint. When everybody had to wear masks, that was the mandate. They talk about how people distrusted everyone around them. And it's almost human nature to look at somebody and smile just when you make eye contact or when you acknowledge somebody, and how for the 2-year period of wearing masks, that changed. But people's behavior around other people or in, when they were in proximity to other people has forever been changed from just that short period of people wearing masks. Like there's no accountability, but you don't even have to engage with somebody on a human level when you have a mask on.
So let me offer some pushback that just kind of occurred to me. Like, do you think that they have to have that level of anonymity because there are forces at play here who are actively saying, hey, go kill the ICE officers, go fight the ICE officers?
People say that about police officers all the time.
Right. I just feel like I'm seeing it all over social media. Like, here's how here's a way to fight them. And hey, try this pepper spray. I don't know. Maybe I'm just playing devil's advocate because I don't think we should be blocking our faces. Speaking
of pepper spray, did you see the protester that was in the blow up dragon suit or whatever? Yeah. And the ICE agents put the pepper spray
Got
through
him.
the air intake in the butt. Pretty
Smart.
awesome.
Hey,
Fucking hilarious. I'm
give
sorry.
Give
That's
that
pretty
guy
funny.
his 50K signing.
That guy was a fireman that transferred over to ICE.
Keistered him.
Watch
Yeah.
this, boys.
Yeah.
So you got Palantir providing the database that's now tracking American citizens as well. They say it's to get illegal immigrants. And
Right.
we're going to figure out where you're at.
But they got to know who's good and who's bad, so they got to have everybody.
So they're collecting these databases on American citizens, and part of me thinks that's part of what they want to do. Number one, we can get to what
Snowden had it
trying to
right.
do. Snowden had it right for sure. Well, he did. Like, dude had receipts
Yeah.
and paid the price. So ICE now has these secret operations too. There's one called Operation Benchwarmer. Again, Operation something. It's always
so
something.
weird. Why? It's like we're in a movie.
Yeah. So they're deploying 2,000 intelligence assets and plainclothes to scour neighborhoods and embed themselves in transit vans, detention cells to gather data on immigrants and citizens.
What kind of data? How are they gathering it?
I don't know, dude.
Is it they just pulling stuff off my phone?
I don't know.
Is that what it is?
It's all of it. It's an undercover agent.
That's so creepy.
That's Operation Benchwarmer. Now they have Operation Abracadabra, which
That's not real.
That's
Abracadabra. That's
So,
not real.
It's a covert effort to develop 100% interrogation rate for all apprehended individuals.
100% interrogation rate?
On all apprehended individuals. And if you've been paying attention, they're apprehending witnesses,
Yeah, everybody.
American citizens, and now they're getting interrogated for what? And their object is to flip them into informants. That's the whole thing. And I mean, it might sound like good law enforcement. Maybe it is. I don't know. But when you start just collecting this massive database on citizens that's going into Palantir's AI backbone, like, it gets a little terrifying.
Yeah.
So DHS has ordered intel workups, social media, criminal history checks on any citizen caught filming federal agents. So if you're caught filming, you're just out there performing your civic duty because you don't
We're
like
turning
what
into
ICE
South
is up
Korea.
to. It's insane.
You can't question anything or even observe or have video footage.
That's what dude, again, they're going to do a full workup on you. Social media, criminal history, all that stuff, employment on citizens, filming agents. This has nothing to do with illegal immigrants.
So maybe this is a little too conspiratorial for this moment.
No such thing.
In the podcast, but do you think,
Coincidental, you mean?
do you think that all of this immigration stuff is just smoke and mirrors for
Yeah, we'll get to that.
mass surveillance? Like, do you think that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I believe there's
using
two
this?
possible outcomes. That would be one. We can get to it later. I think that's one of them.
Right. That's kind of where my mind's.
I 100%, and it's like just based on what you text me yesterday with the
Yeah.
Texas numbers and all that. So yeah, we'll get into that. So you get all of that as your background here. People think this is all about immigration, and hey, it's going to be ugly when we're getting the immigrants out, and these people are protesting. They're trying to defend rapists and
Yeah.
we talked about
murderers
that
and all
too.
this
Like
stuff.
what possesses the random citizen who has nothing to do with anything to drive 20 miles to this protest and defend someone they don't know for doing something that they like? It blows my mind.
But not even that. But like Adam was
Blows my
saying,
mind.
right? So all that's happening in Minneapolis.
Mhm.
What prompts somebody while all that's going on that now in Arizona they're like, oh, be advised, I saw ICE
they get on
agents
the internet,
here
"Hey,
and they're
ICE
here. It's
agents
like
at this street.
I wanna-
possesses
what is
somebody
that?
to
I wanna
want to be a
say
part of
something.
that.
I think part of that, what they're protesting too, is not just deporting illegal immigrants. I'm sure some of it, there are people that don't want that to happen for whatever bleeding heart liberal reason they have. They don't want that. But I also think they are protesting against the brutality ICE is using because they are putting on a show. This is a show
100%.
because they could do it more effectively and less violently. And number two, they're protesting things that are happening. They're getting databases on American citizens
That's
for what's
weird.
going on. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's not just about protesting immigrants. It's becoming about much more.
Right.
And I want to say something about protests. I'm getting real tired of everybody online saying like these protesters, they should just stay at home. They should just mind their own business. Oh, they're trying to defend rapists and murderers. Like, our country was literally built on protest.
That's right.
Civil disobedience, right? We rebelled from a tyrannical government. Like, being ungovernable is in our DNA. That's who
Yeah.
we are as Americans. And people sitting up there cheering on their fellow citizens being beaten, jailed, killed. You're not Americans. Like, you're fundamentally un-American if you're saying that these people shouldn't be out there protesting. Like, he would have been a fantastic redcoat. Like, King George would have been proud to call you a loyal subject. Get the fuck out of here. You people suck.
And please don't make any mistakes about what John's saying. He's saying this about both sides. Okay, you can't cheer for Charlie Kirk's death and then be against everything else that's happening, and then you can't cheer for, the the people who ICE has killed and then be upset about anything else. Like it's both sides.
And that's what they do. They flip it on and off. They have
Yeah.
no idea what they're doing or what they're saying.
And that's kind of
that's different. That's different.
Well, exactly, and that kind of speaks to what we were chatting about on the ride over here. There just seems to be this flavor of the day. Whatever channel you're watching, whatever channel you subscribe to, you're going to be pissed about one thing, but then okay another thing. That's the same thing. It's just happening.
It's
to
just
the
flip.
other side.
And then the other side is mad about what you're happy about.
It almost
and happy
feels
about what
like
you're mad
we're
about.
all being played right now.
And that's what we're going to try to be doing going forward with all this show, is to like kind of peel back the curtain and show everybody like, hey, this is how they're playing.
Facts.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Absolute facts, and say like, we can look at it through legitimate propaganda lens, like absolute educational experiences. Or we can bring the textbook to life. Hey, this is how they're manipulating you. Look at this language. Look what they're doing here.
Yeah.
This is on purpose. So anyway, rant over. But yeah, you're
Love
allowed
it.
to protest. It's American. So right after that, what I did want to play, actually, let's get into the shooting real quick. So they shot Renee Good.
This was the
This was the lady in the car.
Okay.
And that one, while I think it was a crap shoot, like, I mean, I can see where like, okay, maybe he thought his life was in danger. I don't agree with that, but
Sure.
I can see there's a lot of gray area there. I don't necessarily want to get into the shootings too much themselves.
Yeah.
So people were obviously, up in arms over that, right? And then you get to Alex Preddy.
Mhm.
This one, the video evidence is clear as day. Like, he was literally there with a phone in his hand doing this. A lady got pushed to the ground. He helped her up. After an ICE agent threw her to the ground, ICE agent went and threw another lady to the ground, and he was going over to help her. ICE agent started pepper spraying him, and he's all of a sudden blinded now. Like, literally pepper spray. Like, you saw the video. Was it like a foot from his face?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? Okay.
I have not seen it.
Yeah.
You saw it.
It's like in his face.
In his face, he's
Yeah.
getting a can of pepper spray in his
Yeah.
face. Dude's blinded now.
Yeah.
Right? And so he slips down, and then ICE agents grab and kind of falls on top of this lady. ICE agents grab him. It's like he's completely disoriented now. He's blinded. People are grabbing and pulling him. He holds on to that lady. Like, I would too. Like, what the fuck is happening right now? I'm grabbing onto something.
That's just how
he
you-
grabs onto her.
yeah.
Next thing you know, you have 5 to 7 agents on him, all pinned him down, right? One of them's pistol whipping him in the head. He's covering up. He's trying to defend himself. Like, this is all, like, there's 3 different angles you can see this from.
Okay.
It's clear as day. And then they have slow down footage of one guy, an ICE agent, who grabs the gun from his holster.
From the
From Alex Preddy's
Preddy's
holster.
holster
because I
while
heard
he's
that
down.
he had a gun on it.
He did.
Which doesn't mean
The gun-
he needed to get shot.
No, the gun was holstered. He never pulled it out. He never brandished it like they said. Nothing
Okay.
like that. They didn't even know he had a gun till that moment.
Okay.
So the one agent pulls a gun from his waist, turns around and walks away like you should do. Like, hey, I'm securing this weapon, right? There's plenty of guys on this guy. I'm securing this weapon.
Okay.
There's a moment, as he pulls that gun, the ICE officer that's right next to him pulls his, right? He's got it. And as the one agent that just pulled the gun walks away with the pistol, he circles around to behind Preddy with his weapon drawn. There's an angle. It looks pretty convincing to me that the agent that grabbed Preddy's weapon had either an accidental discharge or he actually pulled the trigger on accident, but there was an accidental discharge of that gun.
Of the guy who died.
Yes,
His gun.
Preddy's gun.
He was killed with his own gun.
No.
No.
So
Agent grabs his gun, takes it, turns around, walks away, and a round goes off.
and then I
While
think,
there's still
over
7
here.
guys on him.
and then everybody maybe hurt. This is
5 guys.
this
They
is
just heard shots and reacted.
this is the only defense
Nobody
I will
knows.
give him. We don't know, but
Okay.
he was first shot in the back by the agent who saw that the gun was taken away.
Uh-huh.
This is the only defense I'll give of these guys is they may have heard a shot and they said, "Fuck it, unload." But how many times they shot him?
Did they shoot him a lot?
10
I
times.
didn't watch the video.
10 times.
So I would like to offer just a possibility for the other side, for the ICE agents. And I'm not condoning what they did. I just want to read you something. So one, I saw a video that prior to them taking the gun away, Preddy did reach down for his holster and he did pull something up. It looked like maybe afterwards that maybe it was an extra magazine. Okay. But just to back up a little bit, he's pepper sprayed, he's blinded, he's holding on to somebody,
And
he's
someone's reaching
down
for his gun.
He's down and he reaches for that same area. So was he reaching for his gun at that time? Did he know it was gone or did he not? So just to offer that as well. But there's a guy on Facebook that I follow. I can't remember his exact name. We can always plug it in. But so for context, he's been a police officer for over a decade. He's certified to teach use of force to law enforcement. He's been involved in use of force scenarios many times, auditing, reviewing countless charts. He's qualified as an expert witness in police use of force. Okay, and so he throws this out. There's something called objective reasonableness, and it says this is what they follow for use of force. Deadly force is justified when an officer reasonably believes it is necessary to prevent imminent death or serious bodily harm, and that's from two. That is awarded from two court cases. One is Graham versus Connor. One is Tennessee versus Garner. Okay, that's what the rule is for use of force.
It's essentially reasonable doubt for cops,
right? So it said the standard is in regards to what the officer believes in the moment, not when the video is reviewed from multiple angles or slowed down to slow motion. Okay, so obviously the ICE agent's written statement is going to have the biggest play in how this is handled after the fact, right? And he even talks about if certain things are said, maybe his feelings are conveyed in a different way. That's going to how it all handled, right? But you said they obviously
he can't see the 360 of it happening.
He did see the guy that took the gun away, though.
So, but he threw this scenario out as a possibility. If an agent heard someone yell, he has a gun, and even after his firearm was removed, he reached for his holster to pull out what looked to be something, which ended up being a magazine from the view that I saw. And he believed it was an additional weapon and was possibly going to shoot an agent or injure one of his teammates. He would have been justified to legally shoot the assailant, even if the perception was found to be mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that this wasn't legal by the definition.
And that's how he goes on to close it is mistaken perception doesn't automatically make the shooting unlawful or justified, but lawful and justified don't equate to moral and or good.
Because I've seen several police officers giving the pro and con, like, hey, this might be legal, that he might get away with it, but this is a bad shoot.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, I said my only justification in giving them any slack is that there was an accidental discharge that none of those guys knew about. Like they heard a shot.
But even still, if you pull a weapon from somebody and disarm them, and he reaches for his holster and he's got something in his hand,
right? How do
you
I
don't know
it's
if there's
not?
a second weapon. You
It
haven't
could be a
patted him
knife,
down.
it could be a
Could
gun,
have grabbed
it
it
could
from
be a
his
grenade.
sock.
I don't know.
You don't know.
That's fair.
If you just say, hey, he's got his gun and now he's got something in his hand, what the fuck?
I say I'll be fair to them. I think this was a bad shoot. I think they were poorly trained.
Again.
Although I think the guy that actually we don't know who shot him actually. But I think this is, you go back to dudes that have 6 weeks of training. Here's your badge and your gun.
And here's what's crazy,
busy.
right? So I Googled how long is peace officer training? And that's what police officers have to go through in order to be able to carry a gun.
6 months.
It's 4 to 7 months, roughly 600 to 1,000 plus hours. And most programs span 20 to 30 weeks. For peace officer training, that's what police officers have to go through. These guys are getting 4 to 6 weeks of training and given a gun and a badge and
kicked
immunity.
out into the streets.
That's fucking wild, dude.
It is. That's exactly what I think a lot of the problem is. But yeah, so we can move on from that.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. What really troubled me about that whole thing, I told you, this messed me up. Like I'm looking at all the reactions online.
Yeah.
About people who are just flat out like totally okay with watching another man be murdered right there again on TV. These are the same people that saw Charlie Kirk get killed.
And we're up in arms. I agree.
You're seeing the right react to this in the same way that the left reacted to Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
And that is a symptom of a sick society.
There is something very broken.
Fundamentally broken, because the people who cheered on Charlie Kirk's death were admonished by the right.
Yeah.
And they said, how dare you celebrate the death of a human being?
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
It's human.
Regardless of who he voted for, whatever.
Exactly.
But then those people are now celebrating the death of this guy. What a fucking idiot. You shouldn't have brought it. It's like, what happened to human life is sacred literally 4 months ago.
And Adam, that was my whole thing, is that I legit was like depressed. I'm like, we're broken.
And he was doing was following his First and Second Amendment rights.
Unless you listen to the Secretary of Homeland and the Director of the FBI and the Treasury Secretary. Let's play some of these videos real quick. I'm going to play one of them. Oh, let's see. I think this is Kash Patel here. Let's listen to what the Director of the FBI has to say about this.
The protesting is only ramping up. What is your advice to the people right now who are outraged that this is a second killing at the hands of Border Patrol in 2 weeks?
As Kristi said, you cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest that you want. It's that simple. You don't have that right to break the law.
That's not the law.
According to the director of the FBI.
Is that a law in Minnesota
No,
or Minneapolis
it's
that
a law
you're not
nowhere.
allowed? Okay.
It's not a law anywhere. There's very few exceptions on where you can't carry your firearm.
Right.
Is it maybe
Federal buildings, if you're not a federal agent,
Exactly.
you can't bring it
Schools,
in. Courthouses.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are very few exceptions. And he goes on to say he has 2 magazines. Like, okay, I have 2 magazines in my truck right now with a loaded firearm.
Right.
Yeah. Right now I have 45 rounds of ammunition ready to go at all times everywhere I go. Am I a domestic terrorist? Am I somebody that Cash Patel needs to look out for?
This is just
Like,
for
come on.
entertainment purposes only. John doesn't really have that.
No, I'm an American. If I want 1,000 rounds in my truck, I can carry 1,000 rounds in my truck.
Yeah.
I have that.
Well, and the only reason I say that is because I know, like in California,
Yeah.
you can't have more than 11 rounds.
They have weird things about.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know what
Virginia's trying to pass
Minneapolis-
something similar right
I don't know
now.
what Minneapolis, if maybe they have some blanket policy or a law in their city. Like, I don't know.
So Cash
Is that
Patel
a
got a
thing?
lot of pushback on this. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I just looked it
NRA.
up. What he said is factually false.
exactly.
It just that
There's
you
no-
absolutely.
You mean the
I
director of the FBI didn't know that rule?
Yeah,
The
weird.
director of the biggest law enforcement
here.
agency in the country.
There is no federal law that automatically bans guns at protests.
Nope.
It gets a little nuanced. Sometimes there's certain rules depending on the state, the city you're in. But
Where
like,
the protest is held.
the way that he just
Yeah.
stated it, there is no blanket. You can't do that. Like that's factually.
And they
false.
try to point to the fact that he had multiple magazines. Let me.
what?
Exactly. Let me play. Who do we got here? Is this Kristi Noem? Let me play good old Kristi.
But before I take any questions and give more details
This will
on
be
the
a
storm
little
and its
bit longer.
impact, I do want to address the tragic situation that we saw in Minneapolis today that unfolded on the streets. It occurred with DHS law enforcement as they carried out their lawful duties to keep Americans safe in the threat of criminal illegal aliens in this country. At 9:05 a.m., Central Time, the Department of Homeland Security law enforcement officials and officers were conducting targeted operations
pause
in
this a couple
Minneapolis
times.
against an illegal alien whose criminal history included domestic assault with intentionally inflicting bodily harm, disorderly conduct, and driving without a valid license. An individual
No license.
approached U.S. Border Patrol officers.
I love how they
Hold on. So
They're
one of his
not talking about Preddy. They're talking about the guy they're going after.
one of his charges was driving without a license. Did they check to see if he was voting with or without a license? Like, can that
That's
can that
racist.
be a crime?
That's
Oh,
racist.
okay. All right. Just a second.
First of all,
All right.
I love that they throw that in there. And didn't have a
Yeah.
driver's license. Oh shit!
I think it might be in reference to there's been a couple, I want to say in California, a couple people who have been driving illegally or with fake CDLs that have like run over people.
I
killed
assume
people.
that every illegal alien does not have a driver's
I would
license.
imagine.
You are here illegally. Why
Yeah.
do you have
don't
valid state ID?
You don't have documentation to get the ID.
Hold on.
yeah.
Question for you, Ms.
I don't
Noem.
think you need to tell me that.
Yeah.
But like,
do,
if you want
some,
to,
do some illegal aliens drive with valid driver's licenses? I have
hey,
a question.
where are they getting these valid driver's
Thank
licenses?
you, Secretary of Homeland Security.
Anyway,
Also, is my coffee
I've never
ready?
felt more secure.
shall we continue?
With a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
Listen to the language.
Semi-automatic.
That was weird, huh?
Listen to the language.
That was a little weird.
Semi-automatic.
you know where you know
handgun.
where you hear people say he had a 9mm, where they get very specific on what they
When they want to
had
ban guns.
Yes.
when they want to ban
Isn't
guns.
that interesting?
That seems to come
That's
from the
that-
left.
oh, that
I
sent
wouldn't,
chills
I
down my
wouldn't be
spine. That was
surprised
weird.
if they tried selling you on the fact that it had a bump stock because most people won't know what a 9mm semi-automatic.
Did you hear it was
hand-
semi-automatic?
Yeah.
They always say it's like a semi-automatic. It's a semi. You know what gun is a semi-automatic? All of them.
All of them. Literally all of them.
If you don't know, I'm sure everybody listening to this show knows, but a semi-automatic is
You can squeeze the
Boom.
trigger multiple
Yeah.
times in
Yeah.
succession
Watch
and
me.
it goes off.
I'm
this
pretty
is
sure
semi-automatic.
it's illegal to own automatic weapons in the United States, right? Illegal?
I'm not sure about that. No, I mean I've been to the range and I've seen,
Yeah,
I've
no,
seen
it's
companies out there with miniguns.
Yeah, it's not illegal to own, but you have to be registered with
Right,
ATF.
there's
There's
more-
a permit
You can't
certification
just go
deal.
to the gun store
No.
and buy
No,
an
no,
Correct.
That you
AK-47.
can't
Correct.
do.
You
An
actually have
assault
to.
rifle style weapon.
You have to apply
Right.
for
That sounds right.
the permit certification, and the ATF does a background check on you, and then they have to note
Right.
like exactly how many weapons you have. Like they keep a log of what you have.
But for now, we're talking.
If you do it legally,
But for now, we're
hated
talking
that.
about the 9mm semi-automatic.
I
semi-automatic.
hated that.
Yeah, let's continue.
Wow.
The officers attempted to disarm this individual,
After they had him on the ground, not before.
but the armed suspect reacted violently.
The
So-
armed suspect reacted violently.
So I will say, so in that the the gentleman, the law enforcement guy that I read his information that he said before, and I want to say his is Fit to Serve, or I believe that's his account. We'll link it. I want to give him
Instagram
credit.
account?
Yeah. But I've seen him do a lot of PD posts because I like to get his reaction on stuff. But he said, and again, this is from his viewpoint, what he saw. One of the things he notably said that he wanted to make note of is, in his opinion, and this isn't discrediting anything that the ICE agents went through, but in his opinion, he did not see any type of violent resistance.
I would say anybody,
specifically what she said, he's like, that did not happen.
I would say anybody with a set of eyeballs and a functioning brain can see he was not aggressive.
And that's not to say somebody didn't think he was going for a weapon, but from violent resistance, in his opinion, that's not what he witnessed.
I would say anybody that watches this can see that ICE escalated this beyond any reasonable measure.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's let Kristi continue.
Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him.
I could see that at some point, but they really try to conflate this. They leave a lot of details out. When you talk about the propaganda and things, listen to how they say things and where they place them. More importantly, listen to what they don't say.
An agent fired defensive shots. Medics were on the scene immediately and attempted to deliver medical aid to the subject, but he was pronounced dead at the scene.
Yeah, he got shot 10 times.
The suspect also had 2 magazines.
2! He had 2. 2 magazines.
Yeah, one in the gun.
And an extra one.
As one
like,
does when you
go
carry.
on any website go on tier 1 right now, holsters.
They come with an extra magazine every time.
It's a slot for your extra magazine.
As
I'm not buying a new pistol unless it comes with an extra magazine. Like if you're not going to.
But would you buy a semi-automatic?
That's all I buy.
9mm handgun?
I like to live dangerously too. What's weird to me is that she used the term he fired defensive shots.
Aren't shots offensive by
Adam,
nature?
Adam, pull up my
that
laptop
to me is
real quick.
weird because if you're a lay person hearing this, you don't know anything about it, you would think that he was shot at. Like a defensive shot.
Oh boy, it's happening
No, we're
again.
good. No, we're good.
And again, to your credit, do we take a tactical pause? That's why.
Nope.
Okay. To your credit, what you had said is that he was shot in the back.
Yes.
You want your laptop?
Please. What is happening here?
You sure?
Yep. Okay. Look at these holsters.
Yeah,
They're
this
all
where my
made with an
cursor is?
extra slot.
That's where you put your
standard
extra.
issue.
That's where you put your second magazine right there. See that?
That's
2
pretty
magazines.
standard, I
They
would
sell
say.
these for a reason.
The only ones
Anyway.
that typically don't have second magazine slots are the super small concealed in the waistband.
fix it again.
But the exterior holsters typically all have them.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want it, like, because carrying appendix, sometimes if you're a bigger guy, it's uncomfortable. But yeah, 9 times out of 10. Anyway, so what were we saying?
Defensive shots
Defensive
in
shots.
the back.
Yeah.
But words have meaning, boys.
Yeah, I just, like, it's really, like, none of what she's saying is untrue except for the fact that he was, like, what did she say? Aggressive, fighting, or whatever.
Violently
resisting.
So yeah, everything she says is true, but it's a half truth.
With ammunition in them that held dozens.
He had ammunition in both magazines?
What?
You guys
He didn't carry
You
empty
don't carry
mags?
empty?
When
Yeah.
I carry, my mags are empty and all of my rounds are in another pocket.
I keep one half loaded and one empty.
for extra safety.
Yeah.
I just keep the box of ammo with me and both of them empty. So when I want to use it, I load it.
Hold up.
Smart.
Pull the tray out.
I
Hold
like
up.
to hit timeout real quick. Sit and load them so my thumbs are sore, and then pop them in and fucking get ready to fire.
So they really
All
tried.
right.
They really tried to hype this up
Yeah.
to show you how violent he
It's
is.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Of rounds. He also had no ID.
He had no ID. First of all, they didn't know that till after he was dead.
Yeah. Did you ask for one?
No, they like if you watch the video, you can see like they didn't
You
know.
just shot the guy, Jeff.
I was actually thinking, and I thought this was all bullshit until she said he didn't have an ID. I'm like, well, yeah, you got to kill him.
Maybe
No ID?
Maybe they thought he was the guy they were looking for because they both didn't have identification.
That makes the most sense. Actually,
Nailed it. $50,000.
Mystery solved.
Thanks, Kristi. Oh, we get the gist of what she's saying. I'm going to go to I got 2 more just because these are these are cabinet level secretaries speaking on this. This one is
During this operation,
This is Bavino. He's the one in charge of this whole operation in Minnesota right now.
This will be good.
Yeah.
an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol agents with
He approached them?
No.
Okay.
a 9mm
A 9mm?
Is it
Please say
semi-automatic?
semi-automatic.
semi-automatic.
There it is.
The agents attempted to disarm the individual.
They attempted to disarm him after they realized he had a pistol.
Yeah.
Not
Are
immediately.
we
Again,
hearing how what Kristi Noem just said is the same thing? It's a script, boys.
Of course it's a script.
It's
They've
a
got to be on the same page.
script.
They got to be on the same page. It's got to be a script.
But he violently resisted,
Yeah.
fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers.
Sounds the same.
It's
A Border
the
Patrol
same.
agent fired defensive shots. Medics on the scene immediately
It's
delivered
verbatim.
medical aid
Here's
to
your
the
press
subject,
release. Read it.
but the subject was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also
2
had
magazines.
2 loaded magazines and no accessible ID.
No
What?
ID.
This looks like a situation
Listen.
where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement.
Hold the fuck on.
Okay, wait, hold on. Are we
on.
past trying not to get banned on YouTube? Because I have some.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can say what we want now.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
So,
Yeah, we're pretty far
We,
down.
hold on.
Oh my god.
Hold on. With every shooting of everybody in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, we're gonna look at the camera straight face and say that this guy was ready to do maximum damage
Right.
with his pistol
The
and
guy-
2 magazines.
You can see him as he's getting pepper sprayed. He's got his phone here and he's doing this.
Yeah,
Look,
and
look.
I would ask, how many rounds did Mr. Maximum Damage fire off?
Well, Kristi said he had dozens of rounds on him.
How many rounds did Maximum Damage Boy fire?
Shit, man.
I think he had every opportunity to do so if he wanted to.
Multiple
He
attempts.
could have
it sounds
thrown
like.
the bullets.
But
okay?
you know what
If you're trying to do maximum damage, do you go out in the open
You know what he
and just fucking stand out in front of everybody?
I
Or
bring
do you,
more than my pistol.
Do you know what he did do? Is he just tried to help 2 ladies off the ground after they got shoved to the ground.
I would have had at least an AR with me because that's what they want to credit with all the maximum damage.
I have a feeling that this is where we're heading, but I'm just going to say it right now. Like,
All right.
this isn't about this. This is about the propaganda around this. Like,
100%.
People,
Yes.
you need to realize what's happening right now. This is the same rhetoric that the left has been using for years. Whenever somebody shoots up a church or shoots up a school or shoots up a movie theater, it's, oh, he's a domestic. And then the right goes, well, it's not the gun. Don't blame the gun. Blame this. This is the same thing. Oh my God, I'm going insane.
Yeah, and I would not. I would. This
I'm
would be
going
crazy.
insane.
Maybe we need to do away with guns at protest for our safety. For our safety.
Well, and
to keep
so-
us safe.
But
That's
Adam and
the
I talked
point.
about this on the way here, right? It's you can look at this through the same lens of what we do with union negotiations, right? Anytime you earn a benefit or you have a benefit, anytime you give a little bit of that away, you never get that back.
Yep. Correct.
And if that's, and we can talk about where this is going, we can transition at some point, but if it starts to head that direction where we need to be parented or policed or managed by the federal government or National Guard or ICE or whoever, marshals, you can call them whatever name you want. If we're going to start being policed in that way, we're never getting that right back. We're never moving the opposite direction where, oh, okay, well, now we're in a position where we can run ourselves again, so we don't need that department. Especially if it's receiving federal funding.
Yeah.
It's almost as if no matter who's in power, left, right, we're all heading towards the same.
100%.
It's the illusion
Objective.
of choice.
Yes.
It's just
Well said.
the flavor of the day. Who's doing it? But we're all headed towards give up your rights for more security. We're all headed for stay in your house. We're all headed for here's a nice area for you to live where you don't have to move more than 15 minutes away. You don't need your car. And the one that you do have, like you were saying, we can just remotely shut down if we want to.
The
You don't
trucks,
need your
our
guns.
vehicles?
You see that?
You don't need your guns.
We'll
Don't
talk
bring them to a
Senate bill.
protest.
We're going to talk more about that.
Oh,
Adam,
my God, you
we've talked
guys.
about this before, but we need to revisit it because official plans have come out with the whole Project Sunrise and 15 minute season and all this. We're going to talk more about that at some point. But I want to play one last one from my favorite cabinet secretary, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. This is the one I would most like to punch in the face. So I'm going to play this guy.
Before you go, I know this is not your lane, but I got to ask you about what's happened in Minneapolis. As a member of the Trump cabinet, are you concerned to see another American citizen ends up dead?
Yes.
Shot by.
The only answer is
federal
yes.
law
Well, he does say
enforcement?
yes.
Jonathan, it's a tragedy when anyone dies, but I can tell you the situation on the ground there is being stirred up by Governor Walz. I was out there
Just
2 weeks
just
ago.
Governor Walz.
Governor Walz declined to provide a security detail for me to go into the Minnesota Capitol with the state police. So he is fomenting chaos because there is substantial waste, fraud, and abuse. My job as Treasury Secretary is to investigate that. And I think that this chaos that's going on.
I will say one thing in defense of Waltz not providing escorts for people that are coming in is the Minnesota police chief got on. This is a crazy number, by the way. The Minnesota police chief got on TV and said, we have 600 sworn members.
That's it?
That's it. Like, I heard that. I'm like, no
Man,
way.
maybe
Holy
Walsh doesn't have the
shit.
manpower.
Exactly. Like the streets are being flooded with all this stuff. They're going from here to there. Like people are saying that Minnesota or Minneapolis PD is not helping ICE. Like there's
Plus
if there's
everyday
600
calls. They still have to run calls.
They still have to run calls. Like they are overwhelmed. I guarantee it.
Wow.
We've talked about this before. Here's what drives me crazy about every single one of the scenarios that we talked about is two things can be true at the same time.
Mhm.
Could Walls be stirring this up and agitating it? 100%.
Perhaps. Yep.
Can what happened be fucked up? Absolutely.
Mhm.
Neither one of them has to be the only truth. And that's with everything that we look at or talk about on the show, or all the different topics ranging from, the far left to the far right and all the weird shit in between. There can be more than one truth. And it drives me crazy that the world we live in now is like, you have to be so polarized. You have to be so far left or so far right. And you can't agree that the truth on the other side could be real. And Adam was like, do you think more people are being able to see that? Yes and no. And again, topic for a different time, but it could be very true that Walls is agitating this and stirring this up because this corruption and the, what the Treasury Secretary wants to investigate is going on with the city. And he very well knew about it and let it happen. But also
what you're describing is nuance.
The shit that was handled and the U.S. citizens that have lost their life is tragic.
Yes. So
there's no but.
The very first way for you to realize that you're being fed a story, a certain frame. I wasn't even done with that.
Oh,
He's got a better line where I think he's a jackass.
Bring it back.
The first way you can tell that you're being fed a story, a certain framework, is you're being fed a binary choice.
Yes.
Every time.
The demonic communist protesters or the ICE agents just trying to deport criminals.
Heroes.
That's it.
Protecting our
fascist
country.
ICE agents.
Here's your two choices. That's it.
It's all team
And it goes
sports,
both. Like
dude.
right now we're focusing on ICE and the protesters, but this is for any story.
Always.
Yep.
Always. So that's your first fucking clue.
When we were talking about it on the way here, like, do you remember when the news used to be, hey, here's the facts of what happened today? This side thinks this side thinks this.
I don't even know if it's ever been that way, honestly.
We definitely weren't alive for it.
Maybe I thought it was like that when I was younger. Maybe I'm just wishing for a different time.
That's when Project Mockingbird was happening.
Yeah.
Like, were we ever told the truth? I don't know.
That's
I
true.
think
Again,
maybe
story for another
it's
day.
very inception, maybe, but I think it was capitalized on pretty quick.
You can go back and read Bernays' book, Propaganda. And from that, this is in the 20s. Like, they're talking about how you're spinning media to benefit certain people. Like, it's been around forever. I'm going to say since the inception. Now, it doesn't say that there aren't reporters and aren't outlets that are trying to give you the truth.
And then all of a sudden they start telling you about how Charlie Kirk's a time traveler, and here we go
boy.
again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks good, and then all of a sudden,
Sounds cool.
Then you sound like a rambling schizophrenic.
All right, so let's because we can go on with any one of these subjects. We can go on forever. But let's get to another interesting part here. Do you guys know who Cam Higgby is?
Yes.
So
I know the name.
I don't. So Cam Higgby, he's a conservative, independent journalist. He's now a White House correspondent in Trump's freaking or Pentagon correspondent. Either way, it doesn't matter. But he claimed to have infiltrated I
saw that post.
Signal chat.
Yep.
Did you? So Adam, can you pull up my thing real quick? You
want your laptop?
Yeah, let me pull up Cam Higgby's deal just here so you can see what he's got going.
I'm going to pull it up too. So read next to you.
Yeah, so his tweet right here is like, I've infiltrated organizational signal groups all around Minneapolis with the sole intention of tracking down federal agents and impeding, assaulting, and obstructing them. Buckle up, all will be revealed. Each area of the city has a signal or several signals. Let's start with a screen recording of the members of the South Side Regional to start. So this is like just the members he's showing of this certain group.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's that. And then...
And Signal's private chat.
Yeah, end-to-end encryption.
Yep.
Okay. So in case you're wondering, yes, they're still actively checking plate numbers and hunting federal agents. This is from a signal group that he's allegedly infiltrated. So you can see right here, license plates that he's scrolling through. So here's the full 211 person member list. Isn't that doxing? I thought we were against doxing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't have their number on it, right? It's just their
names.
Tag.
He's already outed a couple people on Facebook.
There's their full names? I thought it was just
there's a couple where he got your
couple of
full name. Yeah. So yeah, some people are going to be completely anonymous on there. But I mean, part of the thing is you're trying to remain anonymous, and then this guy's outing you. I don't know. I thought doxing was bad.
Yeah.
Or is it only bad when it's done to you? Anyway, neither here nor there. The signal groups are not used to coordinate protests. Their express purpose is to hunt agents and impede them. What part is not clocking? Not only do they act as insurrectionists, they proudly call themselves the resistance and fly rebel flags. Okay. So you get the gist of what's going on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I did it again.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
So these groups are reactivated daily or recreated daily. They have 1,000 member limits. So like Steve was asking the question yesterday, like, what are the odds that this is being paid for? Like, it seems weird that like, how could it be grassroots when so many people are involved in it? And that brings up good questions, right? What were your thoughts on that?
I don't know, man. Like, we go back to other riots and Antifa related things, right? And there's always supplies being dropped off, and you go back to whether it's real or not. You go back to these people saying they're being paid, or these ads on Craigslist for come out to this protest, right? And I'm going to go ahead and say my belief is that they are paid to be there, but I'm going to say that I think they're paid on both sides. I don't think if these sides are willing to pay influencers and independent journalists to release their stories and go their route, why would you think that only one side is paying protesters to be there? I would think that it's both sides to have
exactly
a piece in this.
Exactly.
I think it's to create this terror amongst, this chaos, to sow this chaos, to help spin this, one, to detract from other issues, but two, to also move a specific agenda, which I believe there could be two main goals, which we can get to. But I don't know. That's how I feel about it. I feel like it's all staged.
Did you use the term chaos on purpose?
Yeah.
Like, because it's the title of a book about a certain CIA
100%.
program?
Yeah, I'll get to that.
So traditionally how these groups work with, like you're saying there's thousands, or not you're saying, this Camp Higgby saying there's thousands of members across all these different groups. And traditionally how, like you're saying, could this all be coordinated? What are the odds that there's thousands and thousands of people involved? I'd say that's very low. But traditionally how these groups work is you have your top tier guys, you have the ground level. I recruit you, I recruit you, I recruit you. Now we're working together. You might have some other guys you recruit, and they don't really know what's going on at the base level. Like you guys might not know what I know, and your recruits don't know what you know. There's plausible deniability in there.
But here's why I think that too, though, to piggyback onto that is like there was another guy talking about this post, kind of the same thing that Camp Higgby was talking about, same topic around the same time. But he was saying with the infrastructure that they have supervisors for these different regions. They're recruiting people, but they're actually vetting these, like the time and infrastructure that's taken place with this specific situation. It's not just like, Adam, hey man, I got this thing. Like, you want to join me? Let's go drive around. It's like, you got to go meet the supervisor. The supervisor has to vet you, background check you, figure out what you do. You're going to have somebody running with you for a couple of days to make sure that you're like,
this is what we're going to get into right now.
So how the fuck is there that much time and effort involved if there's no money, nobody's getting paid? Do these people not work?
Let's go conceptually with, when I go to places, I'm like, how is everybody out there in the middle of the day? You can't all be firemen.
Right.
So, but I don't know. There's just people have different shit going on. I don't know. Might work nights.
Starbucks shift is only 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
Lucky.
So let's go back to like conceptually here. When you're talking about Antifa, the domestic terrorism and the definitions we have for the new domestic terrorists, right? So Antifa, Trump labeled Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization, correct?
Yes.
Remember we went through that?
That is correct.
So, and initially I said, like, this is months and months ago, I said that Antifa, just to what you said, Adam, when you were looking at say, hey, this isn't an organized group like this. They don't have a website. They don't have a charter. They don't have a president. This isn't a group like that, right?
But we talked about the origins and they are more organized than that.
So even Antifa, let's just maybe leave Antifa out of it. So I said that no, like I think they're just like this loose group of people that like share ideology. And then I started doing a little more research into like guerrilla. Like I kind of stumbled upon this when I was looking at Iran-Contra stuff. So I stumbled across a document. It's a not redacted. It's a declassified thing called the Psychological Operations of Guerrilla Warfare.
Yeah.
This is a CIA.
I remember us talking about this.
This is a CIA manual that they used to recruit Contras inside Nicaragua. This is how you start your resistance here. This was a manual for revolution. So I started looking at that because I'm always super interested in all the freaking arms that come off and tentacles from the Contras. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy shit.
That's exactly what's going on here.
Like this could be Antifa. And then I'd read about this thing called Project Gladio a long, long time ago. It's where American intelligence groups left behind organizations inside Europe to specifically fight against communism. They were very worried about communism after World War II, and they were called stay-behind networks that would only be activated during certain times. You would say, be head of the Rome division. You were head of the Athens. I was the head of the London. And we recruit and we do all these things. We're uncoordinated. There's complete plausible deniability between the I don't know you exist. You don't know I exist. And all around the circle. They had weapons caches and everything. Everything's completely funded by the
But I know
CIA.
that when I hear the word go, I got my manual for how we need to move forward.
And it was all about sewing up propaganda, resistance, protest, things of that nature. Also, they killed people and stuff. But that was part of their mandate. That's what they were there to do. So you start looking at this, you're like, and NGOs were involved, all these non-governmental organizations. We've seen how they organize protests all over the world with color revolutions. We've been through that before. So when you look at Antifa and you say that, like, hey, this is just an organization, they're not real, like, don't fall for that.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to be an organization with a headquarters and a vice president and a CEO and all that. They don't need that. They just need this decentralized organization, which which this appears to look like. Right? So Adam, pull up my laptop real quick.
They just need basic SOPs and they're good to go.
I wish I had more time to actually put together some shit, but I was up late and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it in notes. Anyway, so this is some similarities between the, just put it back on the thing that we can all see.
This one?
Yeah, the 4-box presentation. So, yeah. No, laptop. There we go. All right. So this is there's also another book made by named Gene Sharp. He's considered the Machiavelli of nonviolence. That's what they call him. That's kind of his thing. And he's come up with this thing, 198 methods of nonviolent action, right? So these are specifically focusing on that manual and the psychological operations and guerrilla warfare. I highlighted those books there. So these are the similarities between what Cam Higgby's uncovered and what these are traditionally looking at when you look at these stay-behind networks and possible resistance groups, okay? So the real-time coordination described by Higgby, tracking federal agents, shared license plate databases, mobile patrols, etc. So Higgby's claim of tracking and doxing agents aligns with the method 194, disclosing identities of secret agents. That's right there in the manual. Organized obstruction, dispatch groups intend to impede federal operations, mirror method 172. This is also recognized as a key defense against illegal seizures, such as blocking runways, transports during coup attempts. Alternative communication, the use of daily recreated signal groups is a digital age application of method 180. Alternative communication systems. It's a framework for strategic, nonviolent conflict, emphasized that such technology, encryption of mobile phones, is a major weapon for allowing people to liberate themselves. This has also happened in Syria. We started a Syrian revolution off Facebook groups. So, I mean, this doesn't have to be incredibly sophisticated. So going on to the organizational structure, Higgby alleges that the sophisticated network involving dispatchers, admins, and the involvement of campaign advisors and legal guides. This reflects the parallel government in the internal cadre of structures described in the Cycle Operations and Guerrilla Warfare. That's the CIA declassified manual. So the internal cadres is the recruitment and establishment of professionals, lawyers and officials, and internal cadres to provide technical and legal guidance to a movement as documented strategy. So when you're talking about getting campaign managers and stuff like that, you're getting people with technical know-how. They might not know the whole operation, but if I go to you and like, hey, if I was going to do this, what do I need to know? She's like, what you're going to need to do is this, and this.
And don't do this, and this.
Exactly. So those are the internal cadres, and they're specifically meant of professionals that they need, like experts in their field, right? Then you have something called umbrella organizations. It's a broad network that Higgby describes and resembles the umbrella organization model used to consolidate diverse groups under a common mission statement while maintaining their individual identities. So decentralized, right? Dual sovereignty. The coordination between sanctuary city and state actors and the signal groups can be viewed through the lens of method 198, dual sovereignty and parallel government, where local institutions act independently of or in opposition to federal authority. That seems pretty clear cut right there. Then you get into the psychological and political warfare aspect of it. Martyrdom and propaganda. The focus on Alex Preddy shooting as a catalyst for mobilization is a core psychological tactic. Training manuals height the selective use of violence for propaganda effects and creating a martyr for the cause as powerful ways to garner popular support. That sounds pretty standard, right? And then winning the narrative. Strategic estimates emphasize that winning the narrative can be a decisive factor in political battles. I feel like they're already winning the narrative because Trump has already recalled Bovino and he's sending in Tom Homan. Tom Homan was against these tactics that Bovino was using. He wanted to go with a more measured approach, more effective approach. Bovino and all them, they're putting on a show.
Yeah.
Right? So I think they've already won the propaganda part, the narrative. Then you get into the operational security. The reported daily nuke strategy, deleting chats every 24 hours, is a highly disciplined form of operational security. Chain of custody, the professional nonviolent movements are advised to maintain strict records of sensitive material and limit information to those with a need to know to avoid infiltration. It kind of goes with what Higgby was doing. Like,
Yeah.
it's dude, it's crazy when you look at this stuff and you look at it and you say, like, that seems pretty ambiguous. Yeah, use this guy as a martyr. But these are the proven methods of nonviolent resistance.
Right.
This is proven. Like, this is the playbook. Obviously, the guerrilla warfare, they get into actual warfare, but when you talk about the psychological strategies of it, this all goes in there. So,
And I would say, obviously, you can't plan to use the martyrdom or highlight that act of violence to posterize, right? You can't plan for those events, but and
It's
given
gonna
in that state,
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. And maybe not at the level of somebody getting shot and killed, right? But somebody's going to get beat up. Somebody's going to be injured
I
or
disagree.
hurt in some way, shape, or form.
Somebody getting killed was inevitable.
But I'm saying, like, you don't
know for sure.
You don't know for sure the when and why, but something will escalate.
And never let
Right?
it go to waste.
My first thought when it came to violence is I thought an agent would get shot, and that would give them carte blanche to do whatever they wanted.
So
which could still happen.
But we talked about this scenario too, right? Like, what's the flip of that? So right now that hasn't happened. What happens when an ICE agent is shot?
Mm-hmm.
What does that escalate to on the federal level?
Mm-hmm.
And two, what do you think the ramifications are with the rest of the U.S. with, I'm just going to say, like, those who are labeled crazy, right-wing, whoever, who are going to mount up, load up, and drive to Minneapolis to be on the side of good and go lend aid
You mean a group
because,
like the Proud Boys,
thank you. Yes.
which they said they have encouraged every member of the Proud Boys to go apply for ICE.
Right.
Are you saying we're being color revolutioned? Is that kind of what you're getting at here?
It seems that way. There's something going on here.
So
it's not by accident.
It's almost like it doesn't matter which way it goes. Both roads lead to the same outcome, and that's us being given away our freedoms and being governed by a higher body.
Do you remember that the meme where the Eagles were in the Super Bowl? Take this path. The Eagles win the Super Bowl. The city burns.
Yeah.
Eagles lose the
City
Super Bowl.
burns.
City burns. No matter what, the city's going to burn.
Yeah.
Pull up the laptop again. I'm going to go into the Operation Gladio and the stay behind networks when you talk about how can this many people be involved, right? So this is the stay behind infrastructure. Gladio utilized a parallel of a cult structure involving thousands of trained gladiators organized into small, specialized unit for sabotage, espionage, and propaganda. The structure mirrors the Southside RR Daily and the other city-zone signal groups described by Higgby. Invisible assets, Gladio maintained 139 arms caches across Italy in forests, meadows, cemeteries.
Jeez.
The physical off-the-books readiness, like none of this was like CIA on the books. Like this is,
And you
totally
don't need everybody to know. You just need 3 people to know that can.
exactly.
And all of a sudden, a pallet of bricks.
The
shows
espionage arm, all the different arms, the heads of those, they know where they're at and they can send you when it's ready.
Yeah.
And here you got your state actors involved, which is like they're saying in Minnesota. So you have, again, the parallel government. Gladio was run by his secret services in collaboration with top government officials, including prime ministers, defense ministers, even heads of church were involved in this stuff. They operated outside of the paramilitary control. Higgby similarly alleges that the participation of Democratic state officials, campaign advisors, activists, lawyers, etc., involved in the chats. Gladio worked through front organizations and Masonic lodges like P2 to consolidate diverse groups, politicians, military leaders, journalists, under a shared clandestine mission. The Minneapolis network is described as a similarly broad coalition of activist journals and gang members. Strategy of tension, false flags, catalyst for mobilization. It's all like,
It's everything that's going on.
Encryption, like, yeah, everything you can think of. Like, this is just long. This is actually the end right there. But still, you get the idea of when you hear people on the left say that Antifa is not a real organization. Like, okay, does it have to be?
Maybe they're
Look
just
at all this
decentralized.
evidence.
They don't have to have like
there's
a main headquarters
Exactly.
to not be an organization. Like,
Yeah.
they're an organization. They've mobilized in different places and been a force
They can be
At different-
completely decentralized.
But yeah,
it doesn't
there's
matter.
still an organization.
So
Maybe that's
okay.
conspiratorial. I don't know.
let's say Antifa is a decentralized organization with the sole purpose of, at the very least, sowing discord in American cities. To what end? Because I've had this question when this conversation's come up with people. Like, what's the end game here?
For
What's
which
the
side?
goal? For either side. What's the goal?
So I've heard some people describe Trump's ultimate goal is creating a environment where all of a sudden we can't hold elections. Everything is so like, I don't know what's going on with the voter registration. Like, we can't have safe elections.
Do you think Trump himself is the puppet master?
I mean, dude, I don't know how conspiratorial you want to get with this, because you can look at a
I wanna
project.
get-
You can
I
look
wanna
at.
I don't think so.
I want to talk about the lizard
Nah.
people, dude.
I
That's how
don't. I
crazy
don't
wanna
think
get.
Trump thinks that far down the road to be in control.
I don't think so.
I think he's a character.
I think so too.
I think a lot of people around him, the people at the Heritage Foundation who wrote Project 2025, are the ones controlling everything. I really do. Like, it's crazy to think that way.
So going down
Is
the
it, though?
coincidence theory
think so.
lane, I mean, everybody wants to forget that Donald Trump was Hillary Clinton's biggest donor when she ran for president the first time. Donald Trump was a Democrat, but he wouldn't be put on the ticket. So then he switched to be Republican. People forget that Donald Trump was the one who enacted Operation Warp Speed with the COVID thing to force the vaccine. Like,
No, say it ain't so.
everybody has this thought of like, oh, he's the shining white knight that saved it. He's never done anything wrong. And everybody overlooks all these other things. I think, and this is where I'm at now. Did I vote for Donald Trump both times? Yes. Did I believe that maybe he was going to be different? Yes. But seeing what I see now, I think he's a character in the play. He was sent at just the right time to be the rebel who was going to ruffle feathers, and he sure did that. And he talked a lot of shit, and some people liked it, made some people cringe. And you look at him now, and he's right in line with both sides. Both sides are the same thing, right? We talk about two wings of the same bird all the time. But oh fuck, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, that's what I think about him. I think he's a character. I don't think he's pulling strings. I think when you ask what direction is this headed, I want to go back to this, and this is more of the coincidental theory. We've talked about MK Ultra before, right? We talk about psyops. Everybody used the term psyops, psychological operation.
Yeah, it's a cute buzzword now.
I would argue,
But it's a real
or even throw this out there as possibility, that MK Ultra, like the whole idea of research and development, is never to just do one thing and be done. It's to advance.
You're researching. You're
right?
developing.
You're developing. So you want to advance programs. How many US or CIA based programs have we seen that start here and then they branch off here and then they branch off here and they branch off here? But this first one never goes away, right? So when people hear Project Mockingbird or MK Ultra, all you think about is that base project that we know about because those files were declassified.
And the only reason they weren't declassified, the church committee put that all together, because at one point we decided we had enough and we did not trust the CIA. Like, hey, what the
And they
hell are
figured
you
it
guys
out.
doing?
So
We need another church committee.
that's all everybody knows. What if the term PSYOP and all that is just the branches of extended MK Ultra or Project Mockingbird, and you look at the stuff that we're being
like, how far down do you want
I
to
know
go?
you're looking at the stuff that we're being fed. We talk about news now, right? Everybody knows that CNN is left wing. Everybody knows Fox News is right wing. Is that Mockingbird? Is that MK Ultra? Is what you're seeing with Antifa and these protests? And we talk about the end goal, like where is this headed? And I asked you, I said, this is crazy. I saw a stat, and we went through and looked at the police shootings per the largest cities and all that. But ICE deportations, the largest state for ICE deportations is Texas, with 23% of all ICE deportations. Minnesota is 2.2%. They're not even in the top 10%
Yep, not even close.
of ICE deportations. Why?
Chicago's about the same.
Why
And
is
they were
this
ahead
the
before that.
central focus and location for all these fucking mass riots and all the shit that's going on? Why there?
Do you know they
2020,
they were
also Minnesota.
basically Pam Bondi sent a letter to Walz, and I'm paraphrasing here, but said, hey, we can make this all stop if you give us your voter registration records.
I saw that.
What the fuck?
What is that? I have something to throw into the conspiracy pot.
We don't have time for everything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the voter
If-
records, like, what do you got?
Yeah.
It's about the letters. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but over the last year or so, all of a sudden, like all of the correspondences between these big politicians have been posted to Twitter. Like, here's the letter I sent. Here's the email.
Donald Trump's leaking his text messages
You're living
with
in a
It's
Macron.
Mockingbird.
psyop. You're living in a psyop.
It's Mockingbird.
here's the email I sent to Tim Walz to tell. It's dude.
It's
come on.
Mockingbird on a bigger scale to progress into MK
We
Ultra.
are all being played. It's so
And MK Ultra
obvious.
was just one part. There were a bunch of different MKs.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like the MK project, I think Mockingbird fed into MK, or at least has now, and you're being told all these. It's meant to divide everybody because they want to see what they can get you to do now, without having to without me having to sit you down and go through all kinds of tests on you to make you do one thing. Let's control masses.
I wish we had time for another hour and a half and we could get into the Project Sunrise in Gaza right now and their dream for what they want to do to us.
Next show,
dude, because it needs to be done again. But we need 2 shows. We need 2 shows.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's all I got, man. There's a lot to think about there, and anybody that claims they know what's going on, like. You just
the whole
don't.
point is confusion.
The whole point is confusion.
That's the whole point.
we didn't touch base on this. Do you think that there's an outcome to this? Or do you believe that this whole thing is manufactured? I know you've said that you believe that as well, but what do you think the end goal would be?
I really don't know. I wish I did. I don't know. I don't see what the end goal is. Because if you listen to people on the right, all this stuff's happening with Antifa and all that stuff. The deep state is working against Donald Trump to overthrow him. Because again, Donald Trump is the Cyrus.
Sure.
Apparently, we have to, he's the God. He's the one that's going to save us. So of course, anything that's happening is to oust Donald Trump. And maybe it is. I don't know. And again, from the left, from the left, like Donald Trump is trying to make it so there's going to be no elections in 2028. I don't know. And again, that's why I say anybody that claims they know, you're wrong.
It's divide and conquer.
Yeah.
That's the point. No matter who's right and who's wrong, like you lose, dude. You lose. Like that's all. It's confusion, pandemonium. It's chaos. That's what it is.
Don't give away your liberties.
Right. My whole thing for this show, if you can take away anything, is just pay attention to the messaging when you hear stuff. Don't be so tribal and just side with one side or the other, no matter what, reflexively. Pay attention to what you're being told.
If you're being spoon-fed black and white narrative, you'll find that oftentimes the real truth is somewhere in the gray.
Yeah. A lot of victim blaming going on. There's terms for that. There's a lot of shit that we're going to start breaking down even more in shows going on.
It's scary.
But the one lesson from the one is to pay attention to a binary choice. Don't fall for that.
Absolutely. And don't believe everything you see on social media.
What happened? You know what? When you guys grew up, I know we're trying to get out of here, but your parents ever tell you don't believe everything you see on TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how long that's been going on for, huh?
Right.
Don't believe everything you see on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, everybody. We will do this again next week.
We're going to the moon next week, baby.
Later.
Fireside! Fuck yeah!
Oh, that was a good show.